Welcome to Cyclone InCYders. Today, no, we're not picking the Iowa State games because they're not in the tourney. We're doing a tournament challenge today with us three. Max and Logan joining me here today. We're going to go over the bracket here. You're going to see maybe some upsets. Who knows? Maybe the favorites will rise to the top. All I can say is watch out for them Hawkeyes, huh? All right, so first game here, I got it, Gonzaga and Norfolk State. I think that's a pretty obvious one. Gonna throw Gonzaga in. I think the next one is that when you guys got Oklahoma? Or is it me? Oh, it is me again. For this next one, I was going back and forth, but Oklahoma just had a huge injury today, so I'm going to go with Missouri, actually. So, yeah. Now, Creighton, that is you, Max.
That is me. Although they had a rough game against Georgetown this past weekend, I'm still going to pick them over UCSB. Roll Jays.
Roll Jays. All right. Is this one Max now? Yes, it is. Or not Max. It's Logan. It's Logan.
Yeah, it's me. So I took a look at both Virginia and Ohio today, and Virginia has actually been having some COVID problems. They just announced, they haven't said which player it is, but they did say that he will not be able to play in the first round game and possibly not the second round if they do make it. And honestly, Ohio surprised me. They've been shooting really well this season, so I'm going to have to go with the upset and go with Ohio.
Wow, the first upset. Okay. Next one is also you, Logan. USC.
All right. So USC, and I believe this is going to end up being Drake. They haven't had a ton of competition so far this season. I mean, they're not in a great conference with a lot of competition, but I think they overall have a great squad, and I will also take the upset with Drake over USC.
Okay. I like that one. I would have picked that as well. This one's mine now. We got Kansas and Eastern Washington. Kansas is going to be without a few of their key players, especially McCormack in this first round. But I just don't see Eastern Washington being able to take them down. I think Kansas, despite even missing a few players, they're not going to fall in the first round here. So going to go with them. Next one is also mine, Oregon and VCU. Now this one, these 7-10s, I usually go with the 10 seed in these, and Oregon, they got a high-powered offense. I think they got 3 guys averaging over 12 points a game and another one in double figures. But VCU, I tell you what, they got, I think his name is something Smith, or starts with an N. Anyways, he was averaging over 19 points a game, and if they can get him going early, they can be a dangerous team. I know they lost to St. Bonaventure in the Atlantic 10 final, but I've seen them at other times this season, and they look like a completely different team. So I feel like they're going to get some of that energy back and be able to defeat Oregon there. But now, Max, what's happening?
It's one thing to represent a state, but it's another thing to represent a geological landscape. GCU by 50.
All right, bet. We'll go down to the bottom. Michigan. Who's that?
This is me.
All right.
So Michigan's coming out of the Big Ten, which is, in my opinion, the toughest conference this year. I think they have just all around the best teams some of the best teams in the NCAA. They finished 20-4 with significant wins against Ohio State earlier in the season, Iowa, and Wisconsin. Now, while they didn't win the Big Ten championship, they have 5 players averaging double digits in points, and they're shooting 48% from the field, 38% from 3. And I don't think I have to explain myself anymore because how often do we really see a 16 seed beat a 1 seed? Unless your name is Virginia.
Just one time. That's that's it.
Just the one time.
Next one's you as well. LSU and St. Bonnie.
All right. Well, now usually with these 8 and 9s, it's one of the hardest to really decide on because how much of a difference is there really between an 8 seed and a 9 seed? Now you can look at the win-loss ratio here for both teams, but I'm honestly going to have to go with LSU. They've faced tougher opponents, and I mean, if you really do want to go with win-loss, they do have more wins, but they have played more games, so overall more experienced. I'll take LSU.
All right, next one's going to be me, Colorado and Georgetown. Georgetown, what a surprise they were. Went ahead and won their conference as what they were. I don't even know what seed they were. They were a low seed, though. Came just absolutely out of nowhere. I think they're only one game above 500 even. But Colorado, I think I've watched them play a few times, and Pac-10 kind of scares me a little bit, or Pac-12, I guess it is now, kind of scares me a little bit this year, but I think they're going to be able to defeat Georgetown here. I don't see them riding their momentum as they have been. But this next one, Florida State. This is Max. Oh wait, no, is it? Or is it me again? Yeah, it's me again. Okay. I looked at UNC Greensboro, and they could be a scary sleeper team. And I honestly thought about picking them here, but Florida State has a really good balance of experience and freshmen, especially with Scotty Barnes. He really impresses me a lot. So I'm going to go with Florida State here, and I just think Leonard Hamilton, he's led a few of their teams in the past to some Elite Eight and a Sweet 16 runs, so I'm going to take them. BYU. Max. Yep.
So the 11 seed has yet to be decided between MSU and UCLA. Like you said, the Pac-12 has been a little shaky this year, but Big Ten is, like you said, Logan, is arguably the best conference in college basketball. BYU's in the West Coast Conference, not anywhere near to the eliteness of the Big Ten. I'm going to go with the 11 seed, whoever that may be.
Okay.
Michigan State.
Respect that.
This next one's me. Yeah. So, Texas, and I hope I pronounce this right, but Abilene Christian. If you look at Abilene Christian, they are 23-4, so that record kind of sticks out to you. They did win their conference tournament, but if you look at the roster and the statistics that they put up, their highest scorer is only averaging 12.3 points per game, and only 2 others are averaging over 10 points per game. And overall, Texas plays in the Big 12, which was the second most competitive conference in my opinion. So I just think while Abilene Christian, they may have, they may have a record that stands out to you in a conference tournament or a conference championship. I think that Texas is just an overall better squad.
Okay. Next one's also you, Logan.
All right. So UConn and Maryland, I think really this is closer than you think when you look at a 7 seed going up against a 10 seed. But overall, I'm just going to have to go with UConn on this. They have a great program, and I think Maryland has had some good teams in the past couple of years, and this year especially, it's been all right. I mean, they've been a little back and forth, shaky in the Big Ten. I mean, it's going to be hard when you're kind of in the bottom half of that, 16 and 13. So I would have to put most of my confidence into UConn.
Yeah, this next one, 15 seed Ionia, coached by Rick Pitino, former NBA coach, Louisville leader. Yeah, they're not beating Alabama. I'm sorry, guys. We're just going to go with the Crimson Tide. Roll Tide. Back up at the top now. I think this one's me. Is it? Oh, no. Maybe not. It's Max.
Baylor, and is that
Hartford.
Baylor? I don't even have to explain anything, dude.
Next one.
Is that me?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's me. I'm gonna have to, dude. The Blue Bloods all over college basketball. It has not been their year
Mm-hmm.
nonetheless. I'm going Wisconsin through this one.
I like that pick. I would have picked them as well. Next one.
That's me.
All right. Yep. Go ahead.
Now, Winthrop can be a little. It was surprising to me looking at their record overall 23-1, 17-1, not really a competitive conference. They have 4 players averaging over 10 points per game. One of their big guys, leading their team in all 3 categories. So I think if Villanova can shut him down, they should be able to win this game. And honestly, I think they will. There's going to have to be a lot of pieces to fall in the right place for them to upset Villanova. So I'm going to have to go with Villanova on this one. I don't think they'll go past the second round, though.
All right. You got the next one too.
All right. Just Purdue again, another one of those teams that I think has more experience and has played in a better conference, more competition from where they're coming from. And I think if you're a team in this tournament coming from the Big Ten, you overall just have a better chance. I just think the way that you play against your opponents the whole season is going to affect how you play at the end of the season. So
I would agree with that. So Logan, are we moving Purdue on then since Villanova's not making it past the next round, he said?
I'll go with early there. I'll say Purdue.
All right. Texas Tech and Utah State. Now this was one I think this game is going to be great. Texas Tech, they've kind of been a little up and down. Mac McClung is kind of their all-star a little bit. Coming, where did he last play? Georgetown? Was he? But anyway, transfer from the Big East. But Utah State, they got a big guy that averages, I think, like 16 and 11 and 2 blocks. He is going to cause problems for them. And I'm going to go ahead and say that I think Utah State's going to win that game. Next one, Arkansas. Let's see here.
I think that's me.
Yep.
Yeah, so from what I'm looking at is Colgate. They've been pretty active on offense compared to Arkansas. However, they haven't played anybody in the top 25 this year. Arkansas is 2-2 in the top 25. Just based off the statistics and the conference, I'm going to go with Arkansas.
You also got the next one with Florida.
Florida and the Texans of Virginia. I'm going to have to go with Virginia Tech. 4-0 against the top 25 this year. I think, I think there's just going to be a little smaller upset, but I think the Texters are going to get this one.
The Texters. We're rocking with the 10 seeds, huh? This one's you, Logan.
So I ended up doing way too much on this Oral Roberts squad. 16-10, and ended up winning their conference tourney, and surprisingly, they're 16th in team points per game this season. Now, while that does stand out to you, I still think that Ohio State this is one of the best teams that they've ever had, and is one of the best teams in NCAA. Again, another Big Ten team. They've played a lot of competitive schools, Iowa, Purdue, teams like that. They've got big ones all around the board. Couldn't get the job done in the Big Ten tournament. Came pretty close. They were in the finals, though, I believe. Yeah, they're in the finals. And I think Ohio State just has the better squad, and they're going to be able to get the job done as the 2 seed.
Yeah, that Oral Roberts team lost me 50 cents that I bet on them against South Dakota State in the semifinals. So I'm hoping they do lose to Ohio State. But moving on here, I got this Illinois Drexel game. I think Illinois, they won the Big Ten tournament. They got some phenomenal players in Ayo Desumno, however you say his last name, and then Kofi Cockburn. Just some phenomenal talent there. So I'm going to go with them. This next one's also me with Loyola Chicago and Georgia Tech. Now I heard the news that Sister Jean is going to be here for the tournament. I just don't think they're going to be able to ignite their magic, dude. Georgia Tech won the ACC tournament. Another one of those kind of just flew in under the radar. We had a lot of those this year with Georgetown, Oregon State, and Georgia Tech, teams that weren't supposed to make the tournament before the conference tournament started, and then they kind of built some momentum and ended up winning the thing. But Georgia Tech, they got this guard named Alvarado. He averages like 3 steals a game. He is just a nuisance out there, and I think Georgia Tech's just they're gonna keep riding their momentum. Unlike what I said for Georgetown.
Oh, this one's me. You see, yeah, Oregon State, they beat a pretty solid Oregon program this year. I think they're going to pull some strings and beat Tennessee in this upset.
Okay. What about this next one? Is this me? Or is this Logan?
This is me.
Okay.
Oklahoma State and Liberty. I'm gonna have to go with Oklahoma State on this one. Oklahoma State's played 14 games against top 25. They're 9-5 in those. Liberty hasn't played any. They have relatively similar records. Liberty has a pretty solid defense, though, limiting opponents to just 59.5 points. It's tough, man. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna go with Oklahoma State on this one.
Now, what really sticks out about this San Diego State team is definitely their record, 23-4 and Mountain West Conference champs. There's not really a ton of competition in there besides Utah State, but most of the games in their conference tournament were pretty close. They only have 2 players averaging double-digit points. And if you look at the Syracuse side, yeah, you see the record 16-9, not really a great record, but I think with the 3 players that they have averaging over 14 points per game and 2 really close to 10 points per game, that just gives you a really solid six-man squad to work with. They're also a really great defensive team. They have 5 players averaging over 1 steal per game, and then Alan Griffin averaging almost 2 blocks per game. I think Syracuse is just going to be able to shut down San Diego State in this one and take the win.
We've picked all 4 11 seeds. You know what? We're just going to go with it. It's probably not going to happen, but, this show, we're definitely not experts. We're just here providing our opinions, having some fun. So we'll see if that happens. But who's got this next game? Max? All right.
It's me, yeah. West Virginia versus Morehead State. Morehead State has a little bit of a better record than West Virginia, and they're certainly 130 spots ahead of them in the BPI. As much as I'd love to pick the 14 seed making the upset, I'm still going to have to go with West Virginia on this one, unfortunately, despite how much I despise them.
Who is this? Is this next one me? Yeah, it is. Okay. Clemson and Rutgers. I have not watched much Clemson this year. And obviously they're not a team that's been in the tournament for a long time. But Rutgers also kind of a late riser. Ron Harper Jr. is a phenomenal player, though. I've watched a lot of Big Ten this year, and I think Rutgers, they're going to hit on this one, and they're going to get the job done. But our final game, Max, Houston and Cleveland State. What do you got?
Houston and Cleveland State. I'm going to go with Houston on this one.
All right.
We'll handle it pretty well.
So yeah, that's it for the first round. Just some highlights. We picked all 4 11 seeds. Don't know about that one. Other than that, I think we have, just some upset. Oh, I guess the Grand Canyon one's ridiculous, but we're going to keep that in there because Iowa they're too much of an offensive team. And Ohio, that's another one to highlight. But we'll come back and do the second round and the rest of the tournament next on Cyclone InCYders. Welcome back to Cyclone InCYders. Back for the second round. We got all these upset teams in here. Let's see if we keep them moving here. All right, first one, Gonzaga, Missouri. I'm going to keep it short and simple. Gonzaga is the number 1 overall seed for a reason. If they're going to lose, I don't think it's going to be to this Missouri team. So going to move on with them. Max has got this next one.
Ooh, what do we have? Creighton and Ohio. Yeah, Creighton is, what are they? They're averaging 77 game, and then Ohio, on the other hand, is they're averaging 80. So I think I'm gonna take Ohio in the upset.
Interesting. Okay. All right, Logan.
So really, I ended up being the reason that Drake is even in this position right now, and I feel bad because if this were to happen, they would get a royal shutdown by Kansas. Really, just another one of those Big 12 teams that's here to compete almost every year in the tournament, and I'm gonna have to go with Kansas.
Yeah, I'm kind of happy too. I ended up with my sleeper team here in VCU. I think Grand Canyon's luck is gonna fall a little bit short, and we're gonna move VCU on. Um, Next one. All right, Michigan LSU, Max.
I'm going with Michigan on this one.
Fair enough. You know that Livers is out though. One of their key players is out, so we'll see how that impacts them. But we'll move them on. All right, Logan.
I think this is going to be a close one if it ends up happening. I mean, again, a 5 and a 4 seed wouldn't really be much difference. I'm going to have to go with Florida State. I think they are kind of on a run recently. They're a little hot, and I think this would be a great game to watch. But I would have to go with Florida State.
All right, another one of our 11 seeds here, Michigan State and UCLA. Now, if you ask me, I think Michigan State is going to win this one with Aaron Henry, Rocket Watts. They got a few players. They've just been really struggling to mesh this year, and they're not necessarily as deep as they have been in the past. But this Texas team, I love this team this year with Shaka Smart at the helm. They're finally got a great seed in the tournament. They're finally healthy for the most part. They have some great freshmen and experience. I mean, they got Matt Coleman at guard, Jones, he's very good, and then Greg Brown, Jericho Sim. I mean, they have a bunch of just names and a lot of talent. So I think they're gonna win this one. Max, UConn, and Bama.
I'm gonna have to go with Bama on this one. They're ninth in the BPI, and they're a pretty offensive team this year, averaging just under 80 points a game.
Okay. All right, Logan. Baylor, Wisconsin. Two blue bloods.
Now, this is if I believe this is like one of our first matchups that's a Big 12 school against a Big 10 school. But overall, really, Baylor has just been playing phenomenal this year. They've got some great shooters on their team, and Wisconsin, although they are from the Big 10, they were kind of one of the more lackluster ones to make it into the tournament from the Big 10. Baylor, just to sum it up, 22-2. We're very familiar with them. They've given us some beatdowns this year, but I think the 41% from 3-point range is really going to help them in this whole tournament, and they'll be able to beat the Wisconsin Badgers.
And then Logan already moved on Purdue because there was just Villanova hate there. No, I'm just kidding. I think I would have picked Villanova actually, but we'll keep Purdue there. Next one, oh my boys, Utah State. Okay, now this after knocking off Texas Tech, Arkansas though Moses Moody. If you guys haven't had a chance to watch him play, he is like a Cade Cunningham in another conference. This guy is phenomenal, but. Once again, dude, Utah State is my team this year, and I'm going to take them to beat Arkansas this round, actually. All right, Max, for your Virginia Tech squad in Ohio State.
Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna as much as I'd like to see the Texans pull this one, I'm gonna go with the Ohio State.
Yeah, it's interesting to see this top side of the bracket. We have a 13, 10, and 11 seed in the Sweet 16. It's good. We'll be all right. All right, Logan, Illinois, Georgia Tech. Come on, my boys, Georgia Tech.
Both teams have been playing really well this year, but I think just looking at Illinois, they've been a great team to watch this year. Like you pointed out, Ayo, however you say his last name, all year. He's been really great for them. He's averaging 20 points per game, 50% from the field as a team, and 37% from three. Now, of course, if they don't get their threes to fall and they get shut down, they would end up losing this one. But I think just overall, they're a great team inside the arc. So I would have to go with Illinois on this one.
Yeah, I would have still picked Illinois. As much as I love Georgia Tech. Next one, I think I'm gonna go. I didn't pick Oregon State to move on. Whoever did that, I don't think it's gonna happen. We're gonna go with Oklahoma State. Cade Cunningham, if he can get hot, he could be like a Carson Edwards from 2 years ago, where that dude is putting up like 40 a game. Yeah, we're gonna go with Cade Cunningham and the Cowboys. Max, Syracuse and West Virginia.
Boeheim is getting old. I think this might be one of his last shots at a solid run. So I think he's going to really motivate his players. They're going to play their hearts out, and they're going to get the dub against WVU.
Oh, my. So is that our second 11 seed? Let's go, baby. Into the Sweet 16. All right. Finish it off, Logan. Send us home. Rutgers.
I believe, just looking at Houston, they are not in a very competitive conference. Most of their wins ended up being blowouts with a 24-3 record. Their top scorers in double digits are all guards. So I think if you're able to put some taller guys on them and shut them down, that would definitely be able to stop them and get the win. Honestly, it would be a toss up here for me, but I think that Houston is going to be able to get the job done. They're just going to come in with that winning mentality that they've had all season.
Yeah, unlike football, kind of, where the top four obviously is always those SEC and Big Ten and Big 12 schools. Basketball, while, there are some weak conferences, there's still always those few teams that are impressive, and Houston is one of them this year for sure. People, when you say, oh, who's got the 1 or 2 seeds that don't watch college basketball, wouldn't think of Houston immediately. So they could be a sneaky team to watch. But Sweet 16 time. I got the first one here, Gonzaga and Ohio. Guys, I'm sorry to say, but the Bobcats run is coming to an end. Gonzaga is going to the Elite Eight. I actually think Ohio could win that one. Virginia, obviously, very defensive team. So if Ohio can just make a few lucky shots, they get the job done. But Max, Kansas and VCU, Rams gonna keep moving.
I don't think this time around. No, because they made it to the Final Four a few years ago, didn't they?
Not Final Four, but I think it was Elite Eight under Shaka. That was maybe 10 years ago already, though.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute. I'm gonna go with the Jayhawks on this one.
All right, I feel like Kansas, especially with their guys with COVID, is probably people are picking them to get upset a lot, but
yeah,
they get them back and get moving, they could be scary. All right, Logan, Michigan and Florida State.
I think with Michigan, they could be arguably the best team in the Big Ten, which is arguably the best conference this year. So Michigan, just the all-around better team. I would have to take them over the Seminoles.
Oh yes, I wanted this game. This would be a great game if it actually happened. But I just talked about Texas last time around. They got phenomenal talent, but Alabama in their own right. Also, one of those schools this year that's really came up. I mean, in the past, even when they had Colin Sexton, they were kind of that 8-9 line. But for them to be a 2 seed this year, they made a huge jump, and they have some experience. Herb Jones is a phenomenal defender. John Petty is somebody that can score it. And they also have a guy named Shackelford. He's a great scorer too. But I think just Texas. I lean on guards heavy when it comes to the tournament, and I think Texas is going to get it done. Next one, Max, Baylor and Purdue.
Ooh, this is a tough one. I'm gonna have to go with Baylor on this one.
Okay. All right, Logan, come on. We send 111 seed to the Elite Eight.
I think really, if we're gonna really think about it, we look in years past. Teams like Loyola Chicago, when they went on their big run, what seed were they? Were they the 11 seed?
Yeah,
or somewhere around there.
11. Kansas State was a 12 or that year.
Every team's got to get upset someday. Let's see Utah State upset Ohio State.
That's what I'm talking about, Logan. Let's go. I'm on board for that pick. Oh, this game. This is one that I feel like almost every tournament like people that are making it is going to have this matchup in a lot of theirs. Illinois and Oklahoma State. Oh man, Illinois, they look so good at times, but then the Cade Cunningham is just that matchup's going to be something between him and Ao. I think I'm going to go with Illinois though. Just perennially, Oklahoma State's hard to trust, and Illinois, I guess they've really came to rise, but their squad is just tough this year, so we'll see. All right, Max, Syracuse and Houston. We send another 11 to the Elite Eight.
I think we're going to be sending Houston this time around.
All right, Elite Eight time. Let's just get a quick summary. We got all the 1 seeds still in. Yep, 4 1 seeds, a 2, a 3, and then 2 threes, and then an 11.
Yep.
Okay, and then what? Logan's got the first game here. Yep.
I do. So, if this happened, I think it'd be a great game. But I'm going to have to stick with Gonzaga. They're just overall, they're the best team for a reason. But I mean, if circumstances come to it, I think it's not every year that we see the best team win. But I mean, that's probably what's going to end up happening in this case. But in this game, I'm going to go with Gonzaga.
All right. Ooh. Michigan. I haven't talked about them yet. I talked about my high praise from Texas, but Michigan missing Isaiah Livers, their best player, I guess, debatably, but averaging the most points on their team's Hunter Dickinson, their freshman center. He's special too. But Texas, they got defenders down low. They got scorers. I'm going with Texas, man. Final Four, send the Longhorns, repping the Big 12. Max, come on.
Man, who are you at?
Baylor and Utah State.
Man, love to see Utah State in the championship. Oh, we're at Final Four, aren't we? Oh no, we're in the Elite Eight. Right?
Elite Eight, yeah.
Elite Eight. Ooh. I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to go with Baylor on this one.
Yeah, I would agree.
All runs must come to an end.
I don't think in 11s. I think the Elite Eight's probably too far. I should have had Arkansas beat them. Well, whatever. We're good. They're going Elite Eight, guys, for sure, 100%. I'm telling you, though, Utah State, they got a tough draw at Texas Tech. If they would have got like who are the other 6 seeds? Not USC. If they would have got like a BYU or San Diego State, I would feel a lot more confident about making that pick. But I'm just saying, they're one to watch, in my opinion. But Logan, all right, Illinois, Houston, our only 1-2 matchup.
This will definitely be one of the greatest matchups to watch this year. I'm going to have to go with Illinois on this. They've just looked better in their conference and just dominated their way through the year. I just think they have the overall better team and better players.
Yeah, I think I was watching ESPN earlier today, and Jay Billis talked about how this is going to be a real top-heavy bracket this year. I mean, we got 3-1 seeds. I mean, even despite all of our upset picks, I think our Final Four is pretty accurate, I would say, to what it's going to be, because these top teams this year it's just like their talent separation from like a 1 even to a 4 seed is just incredible. And especially like these 5 seeds. I don't even know if we had a 5 or 4 in the Elite Eight. No, we didn't. Oh, Oklahoma State. Or Sweet 16. But yeah, we'll see how this shakes up though. I got the first game. Gonzaga and Texas. My boys from Texas make me want to pick this, but oof.
Come on, man. You know what's right. You know what the right answer is.
Big 12 power. I'm going Gonzaga.
Sir.
They're just it's tough to pick against them. They've been a number 1 all season. I think they've been number 1 all season for a reason. So we'll go with
undefeated.
That. Max, Baylor, Illinois.
Baylor, Illinois. Ooh. Yeah, Baylor's has an okay defense this year. Putting up good numbers on offense as well. Oh man, this is tough. I'm gonna have to. As much as I'd love to see Big 12 in there, I think we're gonna see Illinois rep.
Oof. Okay. All right, Logan. Who's gonna be our Cyclone InCYders bracket champion?
The biggest decision of all. I'm gonna have to say that Gonzaga does not remain undefeated. It does not have an undefeated season. Give me Illinois. Final score, I'm going to say 78-81. Buzzer beater 3.
Oh. About 70. There we go. You heard it here first. Illinois. It's actually going to be AO. He's going to hit the game winner. A little step back from the right corner, right in Jalen Suggs' face. And Illinois, the Fight on Illini, will have a championship coming home. But yeah, a lot of interesting picks in this bracket. Watch out for our sleepers here. We got Ohio, Utah State, VCU. Don't forget about the Rams, and then down on the bottom side here, not as many, but Syracuse, another one of those experienced 11 seeds. Got a lot of them this year. Traditionally sometimes it'd be the Cinderellas at the 12 seeds like Winthrop, but this year it's a lot of those bigger schools since they won their conference tournaments like Georgetown, Oregon State. But that's going to wrap it up here today on Cyclone InCYders. You heard it, Fighting Illini champs, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.